Oh, hello. Hey, good to see you. What are you doing under here? Have you got a film there? Oh, anyway, never mind. Yeah, it's Jugs Disco 2. I'm just going to change the back bumper because it's annoying me. The new one is sat in the back garden and that's annoying me as well. So I've decided to get my finger out, at least change that. Right, we'll crack on, then I'll explain some stuff. Right, there's only 2 bolts holding the bumper and it's easy. One there and one out the other side. But to get to them, you have to pop the indicator high intensity rear light cluster out. And to do that, it's just a little metal clip. I don't know which side it's on already. Now it's on that side. Just there, and you squeeze it in and it pops out. This is a light unit. Pop, of course, being a relative term. Well, while you're under here, put some WD on the bolts. Preferably so it drips in your face. Right. That's out. And there's the bolt head. There you go. Put it somewhere safe. 19. Oh, that's better. It's a 19. Right, I've got a small screw here. So goodie. I have to say, I wasn't awfully confident. To be fair. Oh, right. Okay. There might be some wires attached. If you drop something, it'll fall to the middle of the car. Every time. Right, let's pull this out because the wire is behind it. Oh, well played, over. Yeah, plastic clips. Now, I saw a hack on YouTube. All you have to do is shove a small socket over those little lugs. They squeeze in and then it just pops out and you can use it again. Just tried that on the other side, didn't work. It could be just me. Anyway. Right, just going to give this a tidy up, then we'll crack on. I think we've got that one. No idea what the torque should be anyway, but tight, I should imagine. Tick, tick. Tick, tick. Right. Looks okay there. And then you come round here. Woo! Look round here. This side's lovely. Look at that. Near perfect. Maybe that's what the screws are for. Fasten it in. Well, yes. That's going to take a big screw to fasten that in. Right. I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. As you can see, sticking out slightly this side. What is it with that? Well, I can centralise it a bit more, perhaps lose a little bit of that. And just tighten the bolts up as well. Fiddlesticks. Okay. No, well, it'll do for now, I think. Because there's a lot more to do yet. Oh, good, welcome back. You didn't miss much. Just drilled a couple of holes in either side and popped some self-tappers in. Stainless steel self-tappers, I might add. Right, so that was the easy bit. Now comes the fun bit, because we've got to get these in the car. And I had the trouble with this with the lollipy. I had to drill a big hole in the floor. Right, fair enough, there's a hole, comes from the bottom. Might just be able to see, it's where the wires come through for the towing hook. But that's okay, but then there's no access from here to the inside. That's immediately obvious. I see a hole there. Unless that goes onto the inside, it's no good. Because all the little plugs that were from the sensors plug into this widget here. Last time the wires were only just long enough to reach here, so what I did, there's some sponge in the bottom of there. Unless I've missed something, there's a way through. Just had a thought, there's a grommet there. I wonder if I can squeeze them through there. Right there, look. Okay. Now, I can see it's out of place, but it looks like it always has been. However, it might come in handy at this point. It comes out there. It's better than I thought. That screwdriver is sticking through the grommet. Right. Brilliant. Instead of drilling a great big hole in the floor. So, next job, get those dinky wires. There, all the way up there, and into here. This merely connects into the rear earth and reversing light. There's so many connections because it's also a front sensor as well, but how you know, if you get those little short wires all the way from the front all the way back here, I do not know. It barely reaches the back ones. Anyway, let's crack on with that, shall we? Right, got a curtain rod, tape the ends up, just have to find out what, find the hole again now. Right, bingo. Right, hang on a tick. Might be able to do this in one. Right. Then again, might not. I've got an idea. I think it's too big a lump, is that? Take him down separately. Three. Right. So it's through the grommet hole. I know it's not through the middle of the grommet. What it'll do for now, when I've finished, I'll tape up these wires to stop them chafing. Because you can't do any chafing without a chafing dish. Right, so we should have 1, 2, I've got 2 there. There should be 2 more somewhere. Probably go underneath. Anyway, you get me drift. I'm going to pump them down and then I'll crack on. Right, happy days, look. Oh, bit of strobing. I never noticed that before. Anyway, yeah, so I found them. There we go. If you suffer from epilepsy, I'm sorry. I'm feeling a bit epileptic myself. There's cobwebs in there. Yeah, flipping heck. Anyway, right, these have to go back through that hole, back up to the rear light socket. That's where I'm going to take power from. Right, so we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Presumably A, B, C and D. A bit of back ones, or was it a bit of front ones? I can't remember. Right, first of all, I'm going to pull these wires through. Right, wires pulled through. Right, this one, as you can see, it must be the longest one, the furthest in the corner. And the wire's barely long enough. That incidentally is number 1. So I'm going to call number 1 A. Number 2, which is that one, is going to be B. Number 3 is going to be C. And D. Right. Over in there. I'm going to feed these wires back through. Back. Oh, yes it does. Right, there we go. You don't need all of these wires. So which one you do need? I think it needs a black one, that's earth. The red one, I think the red one's reversing lights. So that's got to go reversing lights wire. There's that. Which is, that's a reversing light. Trace it back. Well, you could follow the wiring diagram. And it's come to this pin here, so it's the green and brown. Okay. The green and brown. So I'm going to cut into that wire. You might have noticed there's a dangly bit. Well, that dangly bit is an extra light which I always fit. We'll come back to that later. It's just basically a bulb on a string. This is standard 5 watt. Anyway, I think that one's earth. Now there are lots and lots of dinky little connectors. If you check 00 garage, he's used some little dinky connectors which you warm up with a blowtorch or a lighter. Thing is, okay, that was not sounding any scratching there. I don't want to be let loose with a blowtorch or a lighter anywhere near this little lot, so I want to do it the old-fashioned way, which is pretty scruffy. So you can turn away now, and I'll just crack on. Okay, consider the wiring butchered. I'm going to test this before we go any further with the wiring. Right, so theoretically if I put the ignition on and the reversing lights, I'll have a blow up or it'll work. Right, well, the lights have come on. We've got a little red dot in there. And that's it. Okay. Now it could be because it's broken, or perhaps it's not A, B and C, it's E, F, G. So take these out. I could always go find the box and take the instructions, but who does that? Right. What's happening now? Even less. Right, okay, and perhaps it isn't the red wire that's power. Oh, we've got the dinky light on, that's it. Okay. I'm going to have to read the instructions. How tedious. Good news is I found the box. Bad news is there's no instructions inside. So, we're no further off, better off than we were before. There is one thing. When you put it in reverse, you get a beep. It beeps. It used to do that anyway, but then of course it used to light up and do stuff. So something's not quite right, I suspect. However, it's getting over tea time, and there's some other stuff to look at before we're finished. So what I'm going to do for the moment, stuff that back in there. Stuff that in there with it, and come back to that. Some other things I wanted to address at the same time, which is why I wasn't looking forward to this job, because it's quite convoluted. It's not simply a case of changing the bumper, which we've done, but other stuff like the beepers, extra little red rear lights, and reversing lights. As we know, reversing lights are pretty poor. Candle springs to mind. So what people do is they put extra lights on. If you check Dean Shortland and Craig Brown, I think they're both doing a really excellent thing where they put these, or very similar to these, on the roof here, which is cool, and it looks ace, and it's a really proper fitting. I'm not keen on that, however, for the reason that A, it's drilling into the roof and there's enough holes in that already, and B, I'm thinking of low-lying bushes, twigs, branches, all coming on, all sitting proud, then bang, off it goes, and it's hanging on its wire. So I thought I'd get some of these anyway, because they're good. I'll put it there. No I won't, because there's not enough room for the door to shut. I could put it like that, but it would just look silly. Right, so we came back to plan B. Plan B is a ring unit. That's going to go there, wired into the reversing lights, obviously. So that one there. Now the other problem I've got is Uncle Arthur. Now he lives in North Aurham. And the main criteria for living in North Aurham is you have to be born from the mountain goat. It is quite a hilly area. So when I'm parking at his house, usually at Christmas, it's the only time we see him, so you might be wondering why I worry about this, but the fact is that, like I say, lives halfway up a mountain. And to park, you have to park on top of a little parking area above the greenhouse. If you get it wrong, you're upside down in the greenhouse, and you won't be growing very well. So I want something that lights up the back wheels. So I thought one of these, and I thought, where? To light up the actual back wheels with the biggest mud flaps in the history of the world. Allegedly. So, not altogether sure. Perhaps something at the back of the bumper here. That'll be quite easy to do. Fix a bracket inside there, and then it would shine down like so, and it should be relatively easy to fit, and it should light up the back mud flap. Will it be enough to show the wheel? Don't know. Right, and of course these need wiring into the loom as well, which is why I've added an extra wire, because it's not going to be done today because it's nearly tea time, and Frida's made soup and it smells chuffing gorgeous. So yeah, you could put it there perhaps, where it'll catch all the crap from the wheel. Plus you need it, then you have to extend the wire all the way through, then you end up with the wire running underneath, which I'm not really keen on. Which might sound quite funny considering the state of that, but you don't really want loose wires dangling. So that, I'm afraid, is going to be another day. So we'll come back to that. So that's going to go into holes, it's going to go there. That's going to be fine. Now another job, because with this early Land Rovers, the indicator is in the lower unit. So what I was going to do, what I did before with Lollopy, was I put some repeaters. Oh, there's one of them, and you pop it there, and it flashes at the same time as the indicator. So you've got a proper indicator and you've got a repeater up here. And that needs wiring into the indicator as well, so that'll have to come that way. So that's the reason I didn't want to do this job. It's huge. And you might think, it's just changing a bumper. No, it's not. Not in my world, anyway. I endeavour to make things as complicated as possible. And I think I really succeeded. Which is why I didn't want to do it before we went to Rustyville, but hey, sun's shining, let's crack on, let's make a mess. Right, so there's always to sort out. I don't understand why my beepers don't work. I'm pretty sure it's wired correctly. I think it's a cheap Chinese unit, perhaps it got damaged when I took it out. Don't know. I have to Google it and see what the proper wiring is. Anyway, so what's your thoughts on that? 'Cause that's a superb place for a work light. It really is, on a separate switch and a separate feed. It's going to be marvellous. That wouldn't work like that, would it? And it's just a tiny bit too big, and you don't want it sticking out, you see, through the side. You get something to just get ripped off, be dangling on its wire. So, plus with the coming zombie apocalypse, you don't want anything that they can grab onto. So that's another reason why I don't like that up there, but it is a perfect place, I must admit. Yeah, you can't say further than that. Right, so I'm going to pop these lights back. Perhaps, yes, a little bit of tie-ups on the wires. Not to it, just one of them, and jobs are good. Right then, I'm going to call it a day here. I'll pop these lights back, then we can at least use the vehicle. And I'll put my stuff back for later. Anyway, that's today's shenanigans. It's not gone entirely to plan as usual, so well, whatever it does. Anyway, it's nice to see you. Thanks for your company. Thanks for watching. Don't get lost or squashed. I'll see you in a bit.